Michigan State, Illinois in a pivotal game, suddenly for both sides. Illinois has real legs in the Big Ten championship race suddenly with Purdue's losses. Michigan State is about to stare 9-7, 1-4 in the Big Ten in the face if they lose this game. Terrence Shannon's availability, I don't want to say it was up in the air, but it was definitely hanging over this game with a lot of the updates that have come out this week. I think there was hope on Illinois' side that there may be quick resolution that would allow him to be active. It does not appear that that's going to be the case. Michigan State likely prepared for this game as if Shannon is not going to be there. And if anything did change at the last second, it would be a rather large swing. But we don't anticipate that to happen based on where everything stands in that situation. With that said, Illinois is still a favorite in this game, I think, without Terrence Shannon pretty handily at home in a spot where Illinois did have the victory against Michigan State last year with a more chaotic team.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Michigan State in my eyes because, um, you know,
Can you
Illinois
please
had a
speak
lot
to
of
your digestion real quick? I'm sorry, but like for if Illinois or Michigan State fans are tuning into this and they don't know what's going on with you, can you explain why you sound like you just swallowed a frog?
yeah, because I've swallowed 40 Chips Ahoy cookies and 4 glasses of fat-free milk, or about half a gallon of fat-free milk in just this morning. So sorry if I sound weird. It's because I'm in hell. But with this game, you know, Illinois is in a bounce back spot, right? Like, and there's a lot going for them as far as looking at this game because it's not just a bounce back spot, it's the fact that Purdue lost last night. That's like a race on for the Big Ten type moment. And if you think that they didn't see that or don't know that, then I think you're wrong. I think they do realize that, and they have an opportunity to bounce back from the loss they took at Mackey, which was a tough one, and get a win here at home against a Michigan State team that I think it has not shown that they have the ability to win on the road. Like the nothing they have done this year on the road, the Big Ten has shown that they have the ability to win games. So I think they match up very well against Michigan State. I think it's going to be a tough game for Michigan State. I think Michigan State in general just struggles in this building when they have good basketball teams. So it's going to be tough for them. Um, it's going to be tough for Michigan State with Tyson Walker because I think he's really good and obviously he's a very good scorer, but there's a lot of length and defensive acumen to this Illinois team. So it's not necessarily a matchup that excites me either for Michigan State terms.
Why is that? That's what I'm most interested in. Because from the Michigan State side, I think you could say big opportunity that Illinois' best player isn't going to play in this game. Why does the matchup scare you, just matchup wise?
Let's play our favorite sleeper basketball game. Let's start picking players.
Okay.
Like let's start doing it. I'm gonna pick Tyson Walker first.
I think that's fair.
Okay. The next 3 guys for sure are Illinois players.
Who are the 3?
I'm taking Damask. I'm taking Guerrier right now, and I'm taking Coleman.
Okay.
Then you probably get back to Michigan State, AJ. Maybe.
If I gave you the option to have AJ or Dane or Ty Rogers or Luke Goody, you're taking AJ?
I think I'd still take AJ right now with how he's still been playing pretty well this past month.
You're right.
So I think I'd go AJ. But with that said, I just don't see where the point of attack is for Michigan State, I guess. Um, I think that this Illinois team can be very hard to guard at times. Um, and it just seems to me that if Michigan State doesn't lock in defensively, this game could get out of hand really quickly because I think Illinois does some good stuff. I think the Mask can be a really good scorer. They're at home. I feel like shots are going to be falling. Like, guys like Harmon, Goody. I think shots are going to be falling for this Illinois team. So I just it's a very tough spot for Michigan State. And I'm sorry that I'm coming in as a Michigan State doom and gloom fan, but if Michigan State right now, the state of the team, if we're not getting performances from AJ Tyson, Jaden, and Malik, I don't think we're winning basketball games. And I cannot count on all four of those guys to give us good games.
Is there anything like a sense of Michigan State, when desperate, has been able to come in and win games like this, even in the bad seasons or even in the struggles? Because I do think this is a particularly desperate Michigan State team. And if you go back through the last couple years, like there's been spots where Michigan State enters a game as an underdog and has just like a masterful performance in a game they really needed it.
Okay, but are you just pointing to this year or just in general?
I'm looking at the AJ Hogarth era. The AJ Hogarth era where he's 15-28 against teams that aren't Maryland and Nebraska and Minnesota and the others.
It would be befitting of an AJ Hogarth team to win this basketball game. I will admit that.
Some people were upset at me for bringing some numbers out. Some people were making jokes that I spent time on a Michigan State spreadsheet this week.
Were they actually upset? I feel like I didn't see the upset people. I thought the people were more like, "Damn, this is eye-opening."
Most people said, damn, this is eye-opening. There were some that trickled in late that were making fun of me for taking the time to put a spreadsheet together. I just want people to know, like, I'm just trying to make sure your head coach understands the value of numbers. That's all I'm trying to do. He was pretty anti-numbers in the post game. So just doing my part. But yeah, Illinois is really good. I think that's what it comes down to for me. Could Michigan State win this game? Absolutely. But not without being the best version of themselves, right? Like, Michigan State can't stumble into a victory here playing like an 8 out of 10, right? They need like a 10 out of 10 game. Do you agree with me there?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just not confident in this team right now to give you a 10 out of 10 on the road in a crazy environment.
Yeah. No, and that's not even like bad to say. There's nothing that has happened this year that screams big moment on the road. This team steps up and wins the basketball game.
I also think you skated over Tyson Walker, Marcus Damask, by the way. I agree that I would take Tyson first. But isn't it kind of close with how Marcus Damask
Oh,
is playing?
it's close. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong, but I
Okay.
think the right answer is Tyson.
I think so too. But he been hooping. he been crazy hooping. Who picks up the Damask assignment in this game? Like how does Michigan State guard this team?
See, that's another thing. I don't know who it is because I think we've seen this year if you put a smaller guy on Damas, he's just gonna get in that mid range. He's gonna shoot over him, and I think he's gonna make he's gonna be able to get his shots. Like that's just what he does, and especially at home, he can get it going very very quickly. We saw in the last game against Northwestern, I think he had 30 something. Like that's the type of player he can be. Um, I think. I think Jaden still should get the assignment on Damask. I think. But I wouldn't be surprised to see AJ get a shot at him either.
So I think they're in trouble with Damask no matter who they pick, because I think he's just bigger and he can get his little like post fadeaway mid range stuff against any of those three. It's probably going to be a mix of AJ and Jay Nagans, would be my guess. Wouldn't be shocked if they put a little Malik Hall on him as well. The nice thing is Illinois is so like switchable and interchangeable parts that I don't think you get super hurt by like moving the bigger pieces in Michigan State's lineup down defensively. Like I think Michigan State's forwards can hang with Ty Rodgers, right? Or with some of the smaller, more perimeter oriented Illinois players. Now, the big question is, will Tom Izzo do what Matt Painter did that worked? It's very clear that putting a center on Ty Rodgers is a problem for Ty Rodgers. That would require Tom Izzo to put Mady Sissoko to start the game and Carson Cooper off the bench on Illinois' point guard. I think you and I agree he should do that. Do you think Tom Izzo will do that in this game?
No, absolutely not.
Just not
0.
creative enough, too stubborn, not willing?
It's just not his bag.
Do you think he's aware that that's a good way to stop Illinois?
Yes, but he wants to do it his way.
See, I hate that so much, but I think you're right. I'll say this, if Tom Izzo does put a center on Ty Rodgers in this game, I will be running through my walls to give him credit in the post game. Like,
as will I, but I just don't see it happening.
yeah, okay. Would you rather eat 40 cookies and drink 4 glasses of whole milk in a 2-hour span, or have to guard Dane Danger one-on-one in the post in Champaign in State Farm Center on national television for the world to see for 40 minutes?
I'd rather guard Dane.
What numbers do you think Dane would put up in that setting? 40 minutes of one-on-one.
Something very, very special.
Do you think
But
you could stop?
that's nothing to hang my hat on. That's like matching me up with Joel Embiid for 40 minutes and he feeds me. That's what he's supposed to do.
Do you think you could stop Dane Danger 2 times out of 100 in one-on-one
Yeah.
setting in the
Yeah.
post?
Yes.
How many would you stop him out of 100?
Out of 100?
Yeah. And what do those stops look like? Like, you always talk Dane up like he's the best, but like, how are you stopping him?
I mean, there's going to be some mental warfare in there. There's going to be a couple things going on. It's not just on the court.
Okay.
But probably like 72 times out of 100.
That seems insane to me. There's no way you're stopping him 28 times.
Quick hands and quick-witted.
Do you have quick hands?
Yeah.
Are they quicker than Dane Danger's feet?
I don't think anything's quicker than Dane Danger's feet.
I don't know that your hands are doing much to stop Dane Danger, man.
Wit and hands. That's all I am.
I don't know. All right, what's the prediction? Who wins this game? What's the score? Who plays well?
I think Illinois wins this game 80-74. I think Malik Hall records a stat. But I think you get you get a good game out of Tyson, out of AJ, and Jaden, actually. I just think Illinois is going to be too much, and you're not going to get the center production that you got the last game.
I'm so dead at that. You worked that in so smoothly. Seems like a safe bet. Oh my God. I would like to take the under on number of Big Ten games that you predict by margins of 10 or more points this year for Michigan State. I think I'll take under 1.5 on games that you think will be decided by 11 or more points.
I think I've already done that, though, haven't I?
I feel like every game you pick by 6, either way, whether it's Michigan State or whether it's somewhere. It's just striking distance enough. Nobody can get upset with you, but it tells you where your head is at. I think Illinois wins this one by like 14. I think, which this might be a good sign for Michigan State that I'm not really believing in them in this spot, but I think there are some serious concerns with the roster, obviously, but just with the way Izzo's going to handle this week. He's doing the whole football pad thing. He's questioning his team's toughness. And I don't necessarily think that questioning this team's toughness fixes anything. I think there's been past teams where if you question their toughness, like they just respond and they're better. I don't think this year's team's issues are toughness oriented. I think this team's issues are some other things that aren't going away no matter how much Tom complains in post game. So we'll see.
One last question. Will this team want it this game? Do they want it this game?
Can we wait till after we see if they win or lose and then decide? I believe Michigan State has wanted every game on their schedule. I just believe they're a 6-loss basketball team, despite wanting it. There are people out there that think Michigan State has not wanted to win 6 games this season. So we'll see what happens. Illinois definitely wants this one. I believe that. If Terrence Shannon was like miracle cleared for this game, how much does that change your projection?
Oh, we lose by 20.
Okay. All right. Don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll have a recap up on the channel after Michigan State, Illinois. Good luck, Illini. Good luck, Michigan State fans. Are you torn in this one? You're a fan of both. I mean, you're an honorary Illini.
I mean, come on now. We already know how I'm rocking. So I always want Michigan State to win.
I mean, the last time these two teams played in this arena, you were in the student section in an Orange Crush shirt.
For content purposes that you made me do once again.
Mental warfare, baby. What'd you say? Wit? Wit's one of your greatest strengths?
Yeah.
See y'all for the recap.